You're with Dave Lapham in the trenches following the Bengals' 27-12 win. This is brought to you by First Star Logistics. Dave, I know you're pushed for time here. Your thoughts on the first win of the season for the Bengals?
Yeah, I thought it was complimentary football. You know, they decided to make a change, and when they won the coin toss, they wanted the football instead of deferring, which they've been doing for basically a couple of years. And they wanted to get a lead and play with the lead, and they did. They went on a 10-play drive and score a touchdown, take a lead, and then they built on that lead. Playing with the lead was a big deal. I thought the defense was phenomenal. I thought Trey Hendrickson was a force and a half. I mean, 2.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. The takeaways that the Bengals defense had gave the offense short fields, and the offense cashed them in for touchdowns. So that's the definition of complimentary football. And on third down, they scored 3 touchdowns on third down, and it was third and long. I mean, it wasn't third and just a smidgen, you know. I mean, it was third down in a bunch, and they scored touchdowns on those down and distance situations. So overall, that was a pretty good effort defensively as well. I mean, they didn't allow a red zone snap until the last field goal that the Jets had. Their deepest penetration before that was the 25-yard line. So, you know, big plays. They had chunk plays offensively, big interceptions and takeaways defensively. Special teams held up their end of the bargain. They didn't let the Jets leak out, you know, for any returns. They were number 1 in the NFL in punt returns, and you know, and the leading punt returner in the NFL. And he's also 4th in the NFL in kickoff returns as well, Berrios. And they controlled and contained him. So it was overall a team effort, complimentary football, and they got that first W.
Big question all fans have right now. What's the status of DJ Reader, if you know anything at all?
Yeah, I saw him limping around the locker room, and I asked him, I said, "You all right?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm all right." So I'm assuming that means no surgery, hopefully. But, you know, obviously couldn't play a game tomorrow, and with a short week, I don't know if he's going to be able to recover in time to be much of a factor against the Dolphins as well. So, I mean, you have a short week like that. That's real tough. He's going to be getting you know, extra treatment. There's no doubt about that. He's going to be living in that training room and living in that whirlpool and have ice bags 24/7. So if he can possibly do it, he's gonna try to do it. But that short week is a tough thing to overcome. There's no question. But the good side of it is after that, he gets like a mini bye. You know, he has a week and a half to get ready for the next opponent.
You talked in one of your keys, getting off to a fast start. 14 points to open the first quarter. But the thing that impressed me most was the end of the game. Samaje Perine, basically just 5.2 yards per carry, I believe it was. Power football at its best.
Yeah, they went with the extra offensive lineman. They put Adeniji in there, and they went 6 offensive linemen. They weren't trying to hide and disguise what they were going to do. They had a 15-point lead. They wanted to pound the football, run the clock, and finish the game. And they did that. And Samaje Perine squared his shoulder pads up to the line of scrimmage, and he finished runs. He ran with authority. He was very decisive. I thought he did a great job, and I think the offensive line had a lot of confidence in what he was doing. They get into a nice little rhythm there, and I think hopefully that might be a little bit of an igniter. You know, when you have a performance like that, you know, you've proven to yourself that you can do it, and you've proven to everybody that you can do it. Maybe they'll start to you know, move people at the line of scrimmage more consistently. And I'll tell you though, Samaje Perine was he was physical. There's no question about it. He's a big kid, man. 5'11", 235, 240 pounds. His lower body is thick, and he's a definite threat. There's no question.
I love the fact that he's a north-south runner, not always looking to try to break everything outside.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was running behind his pads. You know, they wanted to grind it inside. That's what they were trying to do with the big people. You know, they when they went with that 6 lineman, they were just trying to mash people between the tackles, and that was the scheme, and that was what they wanted executed, and the offensive line executed well enough where Samaje found some creases, and like I said, lowered his pads, ran behind his pads, very, very physical. You know, didn't overthink anything, just hit it, see it, and hit it. You know, don't think too much. Don't try to do too much. Football's a simple game.
The big 3, Boyd, Higgins, Chase, over 200 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Solid day for them. But this defense, we had Lou Amaruma on earlier in the week leading up to this game. He had a great homecoming. Logan Wilson interception. You talked about Trey Hendrickson. This defense came up big when it needed.
It did, and then Jessie Bates gets another interception. At the end of the football game on a tip ball. So yeah, I mean they found themselves in position to make plays, and they did. They made them. So the takeaways were massive. 4 takeaways on the day. The Bengals only had 1, so they went +3. They came into the game -4 because they were -5 to start the season. So they're starting to crawl their way back to respectability there, -1 in the turnover department. So hopefully they'll get that rolling in the right direction, not experience anything like they experienced in the opener again.
All right, Dave, Thursday night, big night, Ring of Honor for Willie Anderson. How hard is this going to be to turn around for a Thursday night game after come out of a very physical game?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Like I said, a guy like DJ Reader, anybody that's nursing any sort of an injury, it's going to be very difficult. But the Dolphins are in the same position; they got to travel. That's not an easy flight from Florida up to Cincinnati, so they have to travel. I think Thursday night short weeks favor home teams much more than road teams on a regular basis. And big win for the Dolphins, beating the Buffalo Bills. See if they can sustain it or not. Dave, I got to jump on the bus. They're closing the doors on me.
Safe travels home, Dave. We'll talk to you this week.
All righty. See you.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Brakes? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about. If you get the body right, then the mind's right.
Gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out FirstStarLogistics.com.